technology-driven agriculture as crucial to national agricultural development in Nigeria. Nigeria Labour Congress rejects 5,000 Naira transport grants as bait for planned increase in price of premium motor spirits. Plus, commuters in Calabar metropolis lament increase in transport fares. Details and more in just a moment. Good evening and welcome to the news. I am Justina Etam. Technology-driven agriculture and innovations are critical to national agricultural development in Nigeria. To this end, Minister of Agriculture and Rural Development, Mohammed Abubakar, says investing in rural infrastructure, research, credit access, mechanization and agro-inputs will help the country to achieve the needed food availability. Udwak Etam reports that this was at the South-South Regional Stakeholders Meeting on the validation of the Draft National Agricultural Technology and Innovation Plan held in Calabar.
The increasing demand for technology among millions of farmers in Nigeria and factors limiting the better use of agricultural mechanization underscores the importance of reviewing agricultural policies to make the country self-sufficient in its food requirements and agricultural revolution. This, however, is the reason for the South-South Regional Stakeholders Meeting to validate a draft for the National Agricultural Technology and Innovation Plan from 2022 to 2025 in order to review ongoing policies towards meaningful impact on the nation's economy and recovery from COVID-19. Minister of Agriculture and Rural Development was represented by the Director of Planning and Policy Coordination Department, Federal Minister of Agriculture and Rural Development, Zubairu Abdullahi.
This national draft agricultural technology and innovation policy will enhance access to improved inputs, linkages among agricultural research institutes and teaching institutions, and also level agricultural mechanization, extension services delivery, access to finance and security of agricultural and land investment.
So much has been done in Cross River State in the various agricultural value chain towards ensuring food security and sufficiency in our state and in our country.
The meeting, which brought together key stakeholders from the South-South region of Cross River, Akwa Ibom, Edo, Rivers, Bayelsa, Delta States and other experts from the Federal Ministry of Agriculture and Rural Development, is described as a significant feat and the culmination of a long process from consultative meetings to policy recommendations.
The USAID, Nigeria Funded Feed the Future Nigeria Agricultural Policy activity will continue to provide needed support that will ensure food and nutrition security in Nigeria.
So I think with this document, the Nigerian agricultural productivity, value addition and inclusiveness will be achieved, and finally the country will achieve food security and nutrition.
We want to tell the federal government that we have peculiar problems so that we can input into agri policy. So this will help our farmers locally.
The National Agricultural Technology and Innovation Plan is a 4-year national policy strategy to increase resilience and digital agriculture, thereby promoting high-potential value chain and investments. In Calabar, Udwak Etam, NTA News.
Meanwhile, science and technology have been identified as the fulcrum on which the development and economic prosperity of a nation revolves. Hence, the need to inculcate scientific skills in children. This was the submission of stakeholders at the 24th National South-South Zonal Junior Engineers, Technicians and Scientists competitions held in Calabar. Correspondence reports. It is the yearnings of developing countries to attain the status of a developed nation, and analysts say the criteria lies in technological advancements. To realize this aspiration, the federal government, through the Ministry of Education, is breeding young scientists with its annual Junior Engineers, Technicians and Scientists competitions.
Well, for now, there is really nothing like scholarship for now, but we are working towards it to see how we can get not just the Federal Ministry of Education, but corporate bodies to pick up these students who have excelled in the competition.
Though the national competitions were previously held at one center, this year it is decentralized to regional and zonal levels due to the COVID-19 pandemic, with Cross River State as host for the 2021 South-South Zonal Competition.
The role of JET in this project is to elevate students in all aspects of engineering, in all sciences, in the medical line, in technology.
Pupils and students selected from public and private schools participate in oral and written quiz competitions, with Akwa Ibom State emerging as the winner of interstate quiz, while Cross River State won the national team project exhibition.
This exam is going to get us exposed to things we know and what we don't know.
Like me, I'm sure that by the end of this competition, the federal government can grant us scholarships that will be good for us.
The theme for the 2021 project exhibition is the role of science, technology and innovation in addressing human and food security in Nigeria amidst the COVID-19 pandemic. In Calabar, Justina Etam, NTA News. As state governments await the disbursement of 656 billion naira bailout funds, the federal government has been urged to impose conditionality that will stop mismanagement and unnecessary spending to end financial indiscipline. Some Nigerians in Calabar, while reacting to the federal government's approval of the fourth multi-billion naira funds, called on all state governors to use the fund judiciously. Udwak Etam tells us more.
President Muhammadu Buhari recently approved 656 billion naira to be shared among the 36 states of the Federation. The fund is to enable state governors meet their financial obligations, and Nigerians say priority needs must be set right in the use of the funds.
So the presidency have decided to intervene by giving them that kind of fund. That fund is supposed to be an intervention fund to cure immediate needs on ground that need urgent attention. Take, for instance, pensions and gratuity of retirees. It's a major thing that is not supposed to be funded from recurrent expenditure. So it's like a capital project to pay out gratuities and pensions. So if bailout funds are given like this, we expect that governors should be responsible enough. Take the fund and use the fund for the purpose for which the fund is meant.
The demand or the expectations of the masses now is that states should spend this money judiciously to touch the masses, to change their life so that they can enjoy the dividend of the democracy. Empower the youth so as to ensure that when they are empowered, they will not be taking all these vices or taking part in anything that will destabilize the country or destabilize their state.
Others, however, commended President Muhammadu Buhari for the approval of the fund and called on the state governors to utilize them effectively, as this will go a long way to help the states achieve some of their projects and initiatives for a better Nigeria.
State government can also plow in part of this intervention fund into agriculture by making agricultural input readily available to farmers. And of course, this will increase the yield, the yield of the farmers, the income of the farmers, and of course, we are looking at food security.
We are in an era where we are talking about diversification away from oil economy. And my take is that why not the governors plow these monies in a more productive sector like agriculture that is natural, that is far more sustaining to guarantee food security and guarantee nutrition.
Nigerians are hopeful that the bailout funds will help the state and the country to achieve the needed goals. In Calabar, Udwak Etam, NTA News.
In a related development, the Nigerian Labour Congress, NLC, has described the planned increase of prices of premium motor spirits by more than 200% and its subsequent removal to mean inflicting additional hardship on the ordinary Nigerians who are already exposed to the vagaries of market forces due to the failure of the nation to fix her 4 refineries. A statement from the NLC president, Ayuba Waba, noted that Grand optimism of the NNPC Group Managing Director was predicated on the claims that the removal of fuel subsidy is now backed by the Petroleum Industry Act, which was recently signed into law without considering the unanticipated socio-economic consequences on the people. Waba said government's plan to disburse 5,000 to 40 million poorest Nigerians each as transport grants to cushion the effects of the planned removal of the fuel subsidy is far more than the total money government claims to spend currently on fuel subsidy. The argument that the complete surrender of the price of petrol to market forces would normalize the curve of demand and supply, as is being wrongly attributed to the current market realities with cooking gas, diesel and kerosene, is very obtuse. It was also noted that the commodities which Nigeria can easily produce have been priced out of the reach of most Nigerian families, with majority of the citizens resorting to tree felling and charcoal for their energy needs. NOC calls on government to consider arrangements with contiguous refineries not far from Nigeria to swap crude oil with refined petroleum products. Let's now take a commercial break and we'll be back shortly with more reports. Please stay with us. It's good to know you're still watching. Commuters in Calabar are lamenting the hike in transport fares, which they note will only compound the hardship occasioned by the high cost of living in the country. The commuters bared their minds while speaking with NTA News. Correspondent tells us more. The high cost of living in the country has left a sour taste in the mouth of the masses. And as if this is not enough, transporters in Calabar metropolis have also increased their fares, a development commuters attribute to insensitivity and greed on the part of the drivers.
Yesterday, when I'm about to go to Maria Market to go and buy 2 or 3 things and go and give to my auntie at Mbukba, I was astonished at amazed. They said it's 200 naira. So after paying the 200 naira, on the way coming back, they were like telling me that the money now is 250. I say from where to where? They say from what? From the Mbukpa market to what?
I think that the transport fare should be reduced, because if you even look at it, people are really suffering, and I don't think the suffering is good enough for the masses.
Some commercial drivers gave reasons for the increase in transport fares to include increase in the price of premium motor spirits, spare parts, lubricants and other essential commodities in the markets.
The problem of the transport field, fuel is increased now. That is the problem. The increased price of fuel. Some places sell 173 naira, 170. So all those things is a problem for drivers.
We want government to step in for all those things. If we say we should release a price to or the farmer 15 naira, so we want government to step in for all those things to make everything come down, so that we can continue with our farmer price where we collect it.
On the contrary, others denied having increased transport fares, stressing that doing such will depend on the outcome of negotiations between government and transporters, which is ongoing.
Now the situation in the ground, we don't increase any fare. From Calabar South to Bakassi is 400 naira a bus, but the taxi is 500 naira.
Residents are calling on government to resist the development, as increase in transport fares will definitely affect prices of commodities. In Calabar, Justina Etam, NTA News. Many households in Benue State are facing hard times making their meals, not only because of the sharp rise in the price of cooking gas, but also due to what many describe as a shocking hike in the price of the alternatives, charcoal and firewoods, as a result of high demand. Sandra Dowuse Akeme has the situation reports.
The price of liquefied petroleum gas (LPG), also known as cooking gas, across Nigeria has continued to hit the roof. Investigation shows that a 12.5 kilogram of cooking gas, which was sold for 8,500 naira 2 weeks ago, now goes for 10,000 naira. This, some consumers say, has gone out of the reach of the irate Nigerian who is trying to limit the use of firewood in order to avoid deforestation and other health implications.
Cooking gas at home now, which before we assume is the cheapest means of cooking, but now if you don't have money, you cannot buy gas.
Some dealers of cooking gas in the state capital, who attributed the increment to the cost of purchasing the products at the depot, also added that multiple taxation is also responsible for the hike in price of the commodity.
The reason about the increment of the gas is because of the tax added to it. That was last 2 months. You can see it here.
Meanwhile, there seems to be no respite for residents as other sources of cooking, such as charcoal and firewood, that has been the traditional method in the past, have also become exorbitant. For instance, a bag of charcoal that was sold for 1,500 naira now goes for 2,700 naira, while 3 sizable firewood that was sold for 300 naira now goes for 500 naira.
To enter bush now, it's very hard. Because the bush, they never burn the bush. It's very hard to see firewood to buy them now.
It is the desire of gas users that the price of the product be looked into if the country must achieve its campaign against deforestation and encourage clean energy. In Makudi, Sandra Dowise Akeme, NTA News.
Now, the National Emergency Management Agency, NEMA, has received another batch of 158 stranded Nigerians from Libya. The returnees, assisted back to the country by the International Organization for Migration, arrived at Murtala Mohammed International Airport, Lagos, on Wednesday. Abolade Salami reports.
For these 158 Nigerians, it is a big relief to return home after being stranded in a foreign country aboard Al Barak Airline Boeing 737-800 with registration number 58DMG. The returnees were received at the cargo wing of the Murtala Mohammed International Airport, Lagos, where they had to pass through screening with the Nigerian Immigration Service. The returnees consist of 86 female adults, 6 female children, and 13 female infants, as well as 42 male adults, with 3 female children and 21 male infants. NEMA says the returnees would be in isolation for 7 days, while training and other medical processes will be conducted. In Lagos, Abolade Salami, NTA News.
The British High Commission has reiterated its commitment to renew and strengthen partnership with the Benue State government in ensuring food governance and security. Head of Governance and Security, British High Commission, Sam Waldock, stated this when he visited Governor Samuel Otom in Makurdi. Charles Abba tells us more.
The head of Governance and Security, British High Commission, Sam Waldock, indicated that the visit is predicated on pushing the relationship with Benue State on good governance and security higher, especially now that insecurity continues to manifest in various forms. He said Benue State has been on the receiving side of the vices and invasions.
We have seen in the national media the challenges that Benue has had around the farmer herder crisis and the work the state has been doing to manage the challenges. And so we wanted to come primarily to express our sympathy to yourself and to the people of Benue for some of these challenges.
Governor Samuel Otom acknowledged the efforts of the Commission in maintenance of peace and support to good governance. He expressed concern over the endemic security challenges and humanitarian crisis in the country and Benue State, and agreed to keep the partnership aglow. He, however, appealed that attention be given to Benue and North Central in the area of assistance to victims of banditry, attacks, and other crises. He also called on the Commission to explore and venture into agricultural potentials of Benue.
With the high technological advancement of the UK, if they work with us, we're able to produce the primary produce, and we go through the value chain of processing, packaging, and marketing, and all that. I can assure you, most of the challenges that we have here, most of the people who are being recruited are bandits, as criminals, and all that. We join us, make sure that there is wealth creation, there is an engagement of our youth, and opportunities provided for our people.
He called on the Commission to help train journalists on
Stakeholders have described technology-driven agriculture as crucial to national agricultural development in Nigeria. The Nigeria Labour Congress has rejected the 5,000 naira transport grant offered as bait for planned increase in price of premium motor spirits. You also heard in the news that commuters in Calabar metropolis are lamenting increase in transport fares. That's where we end it tonight. Thank you for watching. Have a wonderful time.